What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what the hell is happening, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, NIO is up a very impressive 10.16%, 476 the low, 561 is the high. 103.5 million shares being traded, 45.3 is the average. So an immense amount of volume as well. No actual news associated to NIO, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. There's a lot of things floating around on social media about the sub-brand and whatever else, but no official news. So again, there's a lot of things that's been happening. Of course, I think NIO is finally getting a little bit more attention, and this is why over the last 5 days alone, it is up 30.61%. So it is going on a very impressive run. And so a lot of articles are kind of talking on that and saying it's due to the technicals, but plain as day, it has to do with institutions paying attention to it. So these are all the transactions so far today above $100,000. And I've covered NIO on and off for a while now, and that's been one common thing that I have always stated, is that big money doesn't give two craps about NIO, whether it be because of geopolitical issues or whatever else. Even over this last weekend, JP Morgan did kind of downgrade on a broad scale all Chinese companies just because of geopolitical issues, kind of citing a trade or 2.0 kind of issue happening or whatever. I can't remember exactly what they stated, but anyways, that's been one thing that's always really affected NIO. But this is what does happen when institutions finally pay attention to a very discounted stock. And I've brought this up time and time again. Even right now, NIO running up as much as it has been, comparing it to, for instance, Lucid or Rivian, just on a PS ratio standpoint, NIO definitely is still at a discount. So again, I think this is what the market is really looking for, value plays, and this is at the same time why you do see Polestar up a significant amount as well. But this isn't a Polestar video, I'm going to stick to NIO as of right now, but you can kind of see just generally a lot of money is looking at NIO, even through options. But there's one thing that I just wanted to go over briefly, and that is shorts. So over this last several trading days, you've seen last week, like Thursday and Friday, and I believe a little bit on Wednesday, shorts were turning some shares, which was very abnormal. The broader market was selling off, and so you had shorts doubling down across the board with exception of NIO. They were panicking to sell out. So that was really helping push NIO higher because, again, shorts returning, adds buying pressure and so forth. Today, they're trying to put a lid on NIO. So right now, they're increasing 464,000 shares. That is net. That's not all the transactions. That's just net. So just be aware of that. But 13.31% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 173.83 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 5.64. Utilization 77.79%. And then short score, the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is 78.44. So all in all, shorts are trying to mitigate some risk, but I think in general, they're playing a losing game because, yeah, NIO is on a warpath right now. Institutions seem to be absolutely loving it, and rightfully so, right? They've been hitting a lot of good numbers. Their last earnings really just put it in a different light, if that kind of makes sense. And I've already covered this in the last couple of videos. So I think this is a very exciting time period. So even looking at options, a lot of money is getting into NIO through options. 12 million in calls, 3.03 million in puts. 50% of all the options being done today are optimistic and bullish. And that's kind of similar nature what's been happening over the last several trading days. And as of right now, for the calls that are being purchased, you do see consensus for it to be above $6. So still some more room to run up. And then looking at puts, you do see a consensus for it to be sub 450. So kind of a little bit more of on a pivot point right here. So of course you have kind of opposite extremes, but options activity, no matter what, does not move the stock price. It is just merely a sentiment. So kind of just be aware of that. But moving on from here with it right now at $5.57, it is trading between this R2 and this R3. So $5.48 is going to be the strong support, and then $5.94 is going to be that next strong resistance slash target. So kind of just watch for all of these just in case, especially with some data coming out. You have CPI on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday. No doubtably that's going to cause a lot of volatility in the broader market, so that potentially could add some selling pressure when it comes to NIO. Of course, institutions are loving just NIO right now in the broader market, but that could definitely change. So just kind of watch for some of these strong support points below it, just as kind of a buying opportunity again. But you guys do whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor, so let me know your thoughts on that, and if you feel it can get above this $5.94. Based on the options, it is anticipating for it to get somewhere kind of right above this, so we'll just have to wait and see. On the actual chart itself today, it is getting above this 200-day moving average. So generally speaking, it is pointing to have higher highs, and I've been saying that a breakout is coming ever since right around here when I was about to test that 50-day moving average, because on a technical stance, yes, things are looking a-okay. Of course, right now with it at stochastic at 93, it is considered rather overbought. So the first sign of a weakness, you could see a pullback, as what typically does happen with NIO, but at the same time, sometimes stocks can stay at a overbought status as it does correct. And based on their last earnings, I think there has to be a lot of correction happening with NIO. Really, like I said, it is still at a deep discount in comparison to a lot of other EVs. So realistically, I think the broader market is really wanting to push it to around that $6 range, at least in the short term, and then dependent on the circumstances at the time, either continue it up or consolidate a little bit. But this is a very fun, exciting time, especially for those individuals that did get in at the threes. You're at a pretty good profit. Of course, looking a little bit deeper, that's not necessarily the case. Of course, NIO hasn't had the best track record over the last little bit, but again, when it does typically get over that 50-day moving average, big things do come, right? And so it's only broken above that 3 times in the last roughly about 3 years. So it's kind of a big deal right now. So looking on the technicals, like I said, things are looking fairly good. Shorts are so far failing to put a lid on NIO. And over and above that though, you have big money finally paying attention to it. So I think all in all, pretty exciting time. Let me know your thoughts if you have been buying, if you've been selling, and have you guys been doing options. One thing that I just wanted to share with you though, even though it is somewhat delayed information, but this is just came out last week, so on September the 3rd, but does show global EV sales for July, which is the most updated information we have, in China is up 33% year over year. And so you see NIO being at the right place, right time. Europe is down 6% and the States is down 1.2%. So I think this is absolutely phenomenal data, and obviously that's linking as well to NIO's phenomenal numbers as well. So let me know your thoughts. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So that is a kick-ass deal. Link is in the description below and also the comments for that. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.